Hi, I must have tried to record this match review like 15 times this morning. It's been a bit of a madhouse. Something keeps happening every time they get in the way with my pets or something. But this time, this is my last attempt. I'm going to do it. Hell or high water. So if there's any weird stuff in this one, this is the one take. I'm sorry. I gotta get this done. I haven't done BA match reviews for a while. I'm sorry about that. It's been uh, it's been busy. Things have been tough in my life and busy, and I'm sure everyone understands. Stuff gets in the way, but I really want to get some of these match reviews done because there's a new patch coming for Broken Arrow. Very excited to see what's going to be in that. We know that lever penalties will be one of the things, but of course, there's no sense putting up old footage once a new patch is out. At least I don't think so. And I've got some matches recorded that I've been wanting to review for, well, I've recorded them over the past month or so. I just haven't had time to review them and put them out on YouTube. And there's some real favorites of mine in these matches, so I want to finally... Today I've got a bit of time, or I had a bit of time, everything has gone crazy, but I'm trying to just get some of them out. So here we go. This match, I'm playing Armored Airborne. I love Armored Airborne. I think it's my favorite combination in the game. Sorry, excuse me 1 second. I just got stuff in my throat. Everything's a challenge today. But I think it's my favorite combo in the game. But it's a very conventional combo, and I think Russia tends to play the conventional war game better at the moment, so I've stopped playing it so much in present day. I play on my SOF instead, because I think it exploits US's advantages and does hit and run better against the cruise missile meta that Russia really favors right now. But we might get into some matches of that later, hopefully. Right now with this one, I love Armored Airborne is the point. It's my favorite to play, even if I don't think it's the most easiest to play against Russia at the moment, as it could be. I ended up asking my teammates there, I was asking, hey, Mike, where you want to go? I find it's hard to get your teammates to respond in all the matches. Sometimes you get matches where just everyone ignores you. But at the bare minimum, I try to ask, like, hey, can you ping where you want to go? Because it's pretty common otherwise you'll get the situation if you don't communicate when you're solo queuing, where none of you realize that no one's going to a certain part of the map, or in the worst case, everyone just goes to one part of the map, and it's like, okay, our line sucks, there's giant holes in it, the enemy can exploit it if they realize it's just terrible, So at least marking zones, you can kind of see where everyone's going, and not have that happen. In this case, I'm going to try to roll out down the highway to B. Note that it looks like one of the enemy team players has disconnected, but they actually haven't. It's that bug that happens sometimes where it says they're disconnected, but they're still there. You'll see all 5 players represented in this match, at least for most of it. I think one of them might leave a bit later on, but you'll see them all there. So don't worry about that just yet. Bringing in one F-15 here. I used to bring in 2 at once. I just bring 1 now. I think it's more effective this way. Just trying to tell my teammates not to get baited over the enemy ground spawn. I don't know why everyone always loves to do this. At every elo, they just love to just fly in the first minute and just fly directly over the enemy ground spawns. S-300s aren't real, they can't hurt you, right? No, they are real, and fair enough that the F-16 is going pretty crazy. It's not dead yet somehow, but right as I go into cover it, it is going to get shot down. Now there's Grand A there. I'm trying to stay out of the way. Trying to get missiles off onto this MiG to take it out. It keeps dodging them. It's so low, but we just can't quite get a sidewind or anything onto it. Another MiG coming in to take me out now. At this point, I'm committed. The distances of air combat in this game are quite small, and as soon as you go aggressive, you tend to be stuck in the fight, because if I run now, I just get shot in my butt and die anyway. So I'm trying to fight this out now. Getting one last missile off, one last chance to take out that MiG as it runs. Missiles coming in, and we do get the MiG, but I also go down to, I believe that was like a SHORAD missile fired from the spawn road on the left from the enemy's ground rollout. So, pilot gets out, but I don't know if they're going to make it home from that position, unfortunately. I've brought in my other F-15 to cover now, but it's a bit late. Airfight's really over, and so the F-15 is just going to go home. Save me some points. My teammate there is asking, can they go to B? Now, that was where I was rolling out down the road, but typically if my teammate asks for something like that, then I feel like they're motivated enough to ask for something. They're probably confident. Let them go there, right? Like, let your teammates do what they want to do, typically, if you can, if it's not a terrible idea. And they're going to perform better if you can work with them that way. So I'm like, alright, I'll go over to C on the left, because that seems to be the place that no one's playing. And this is kind of what I mean by that thing at the start, where this is what I'm trying to avoid, where you're like making your rollout very awkward and slow and sluggish, and the enemy's going to beat you to all the flags if you don't like know where you're going from like second one of the game. But it's fine, like it's not the end of the world. We have a reasonable like line shaking out to the right there. So seeing that no one's really taking C, I'm going to go to C instead. Lucifer on the right side calls in that there's armor coming to H, a bunch of pings. I come over and check it out. I'm looking for a target right now because I've got Strike Eagles in my deck. Telling them I've got a bomber. If they can confirm it's juicy, but I don't think I get anything back on that front, so I end up looking back over to here. Don't want to take my attention away from the ball for too long. Especially when you're coming in for a rollout, like, this defines a lot of the match, especially a lot of Phase 1. If you fuck up your rollout really badly and you get wiped out, it's going to be really bad. You're going to lose so much tempo. Unfortunately, that pilot does get taken out. Now I've got a Patriot system coming in to set up some early AA. Just supporting my rollout, which is a Bradley CFV with a sniper in it, a Bradley Shorad, and I don't know what the other thing is. Another CFV with some Cav Scouts, I think. Neon Green there tries to put a Humvee onto C to cap it back. The enemy's got an ATGM team in that like 5-6 story factory building to the north on the other side of the far on the other side of the highway there. Takes that out, so that won't be capping. But I don't think the enemy's really got anything holding C either. Like, we can cap it back. It's not like this is a hard flag to retake at this point. We haven't really lost a lot of position. If they'd pushed, with how slow I was to get here, if they'd pushed across and taken the side that I'm on right now, that would have been a problem. But because they're happy to just sit on their side quite conservatively, I'm not too worried. I'm going to get my snipers out, put them on hold fire, of course, and put them in the building to get recon over the area. Nice big vantage point. Bringing in my CFV to try and probe the flag and take it back, and then I've got my other CFV with Javelin troops, Cav Scouts in it, sorry. Gonna have to pop smoke there though, because it's like a double ATGM team there, firing off. It's either one of those Cornet teams with the double launchers, or it's two teams. Either way, it's scary, and we need to smoke there. I think that was auto smoke that saved me. So that CFV I'm gonna send back. I think I'm trying to talk to my teammate here. I'm trying to be like, hey, Rob, I didn't see what I wrote before, but I was probably saying something like, hey, why are you here? Like, this is more of that really, like, awkward thing I was talking about before, again, where it's just like, okay, now I've gone to C, why are you here? Like, no, go somewhere else, pressure somewhere else. But in this case, it's fine. Because Rob's troops are going to help with stopping that Barbarous, which I might have struggled with, especially get out of the woods. My deck is better at longer range fights. Woods is not the forte of Airborne or Armored, I think. So actually it's quite helpful. Ooh, Toe from the side from the CFE claims the bar because the SOF troops of Rob there have already worn in the APS and put it to half health. So that's really good. It's not the end of the world, right? Like, none of it's the end of the world. It's fine. Like, is it ideal that we're both here? Maybe not, but maybe it is good. Maybe the fact that we're 2v1ing on this lane is like, you know, ganking someone early in a MOBA, right? Like, maybe it's good. We're actually just, like, pressuring the enemy's rollout really hard here. Taking out a barb is a lot of points off their early power. It's going to fuck up their plans. I've sent the other CFE back to get smoke at the resupply box because I don't want to play a CFE without smoke. It's going to die too easy, especially with ATGM teams in the area. But I've got the other one to come up already to take its place. And by moving up through the buildings that block the line of sight to that ATGM team's position, I can just drive up here and ignore those ATGMs. We're making like a huge breakthrough already, really early here, where we take out the enemy's Tor there, their AA system, which is fucking great. That Bradley could be in a bit of threat, but I'm using the buildings to block line of sight again to make sure that we don't get killed by those BMPs, that nothing's like 2v1ing the Bradley and just taking it out right now. Just trying to get the best possible engagements for it here, and it's doing pretty decently, honestly. This CFE's going pretty hard. I'm bringing in Apache as well for support, along with one Kiowa team, because I took out the enemy's AA, so now I think I can exploit. There you see the ATGM teams. It is a double stack. It's 2 5-man teams in that building, which is very hefty. I run into the BMDs there. I don't want to get double fucked by those tank cannons, or whatever's going on there, so I pull back, because otherwise the CFE would have just exploded to all that shit coming in. But we're really putting the fox amongst the henhouse here, the cat amongst the pigeons, because I'm just really destabilizing Maroon's entire rollout and setup here. Just with this Bradley coming in and killing everything, really. I've got the Cav Scouts here, who disembarked from the CFE there, taking out some APS charges on that tank that's coming in. Unfortunately, this M113 I'm bringing across is getting engaged by the ATGM team, but because I took out that Tor, I feel confident enough to bring in my helicopter pair. There is more AA though. There's an Igla team on the left, which is going to be pretty rough stuff. My Kiowa goes down, which is sad, but that is kind of why I bring the Kiowa. I bring it as a bodyguard and scout for the longbow, so that if a helicopter is going to get surprised by an AA ambush, like exactly what happened there, it's going to happen to the cheap Kiowa as the scout, not the expensive longbow that's here to be the expensive gunship. So the Kiowa, you know, again, sad it dies, but it does do its job there of being the canary in the coal mine, the early warning. That lets me know, okay, don't fly the longbow any further up. Stay low, stay out of sight. And I still get to get effective Hellfire hits in on the enemy's vehicles there. I wasn't paying enough attention. Did I kill that tank? I either killed it or drove it into retreat. And I've got my CFE that was resupplying to get its smoke back. It's now able to come in on the left there, engage the enemy's AA team. There's a sniper over there to hunt down. Longbow's getting aggro here once I took out the enemy's Igla on the left. But unfortunately, there's another Igla to watch out for. That Bradley on left's gonna die! Yeah, it's gonna die. Unfortunately, either it had already popped its smoke or just auto smoke didn't go off there, unfortunately. But I wasn't paying enough attention because I'm too busy microing the longbow there. It does get popped by the ATGM team, which is unfortunate. But staying low of the longbow, we are able to avoid the Igla to the right taking me out. It's alright. Like, manpads obviously can kill helicopters, but they're not nearly as scary as being engaged by a proper SHORAD vehicle, so I'm still, like, confident enough to, like, play around the area here. That said, enemies bringing in at Mi-28 with AA missiles to try and engage me as well. Longbow's getting away with it, flying off, and I bring in my Bradley SHORAD now to engage the enemy's gunship, now that I see it. The enemy who's firing Lemur's HE guided missiles towards my weapons squad, which is going to fuck them up a bit, unfortunately. But they're going to lose their helo for it. Mi-28 goes down. They're hitting me with more incendiary... Is that Grad? Must be. Incendiary something. Do they have any other incendiary artillery? It doesn't look like missiles or rockets. Anyway, incendiary something. Must be Grad. But I'm able to get the weapon squad out of there before it dies. Yeah, there's the Grad. You can see it. Kind of pulling the attention of two players here because I don't think Neon's pushed across the street yet to pull Red's attention. So that's Red's Igla over there that was keeping my longbow at bay, and then Red's Grad supporting. But it's okay because we're continuing the tradition here of this Bradley kind of outplaying the ATGM team. So I have to smoke the SHORAD there, unfortunately, because it's in ATGM range. But I've got my CFE here in the minimum range of the ATGM team. Oh, and there's another Tor there to kill. I hope I get it. It's been a while since I played these. I can't remember. You can see here because I was able to sneak the Bradley up in the first place using the buildings to move in a way that team couldn't see me. I'm now just sitting underneath their ATGM team's building, and I'm too close. They cannot shoot me. I take out another Tor from them, which is very fun for me. And now I know that they're probably just hiding around the back. Okay, shit, there's a BMD there. Watch out. Got to engage that. This is close fucking combat for the Bradley. I've got to reverse so that I'm not in the minimum range of the tow myself. Luckily, the autocannon, the Bushmaster, just takes that thing out because it's only a BMD. We clean that up, clean up the truck, clean up whatever the hell that infantry squad was. I've already forgotten. The ATGM team gets back in the building as I was backing away, hoping that I'll keep doing it, I guess. But no, I see that, so we start driving back in. And this Bradley is just having a very Bradley adventure. It's like that. I mean, we've all been here. We've all been in the position of this opponent, I think. I've been in it a lot. Where everything's just fucking going wrong, right? Like, it's great for me, but, you know, it's so frustrating for them. Because these aren't cheap teams either, are they? These are VDV Corner M. These are the expensive ones. They just haven't got any close combat shit to resist this CFE right now. Everything they did have died. Like, that tank died to the longbow hellfires. The Barb died earlier with the help of Robin helping my lane. The BMDs got blown up. Everything that could stop the CFE is dead. It's going to take a while to bring in reinforcements. I killed their helicopter. And all that they had left is like long-range teams in the CFE or stuff that can't do AT. And the CFE just eats it all. It's fun. I love CFEs. They're such a good unit. They're so good. They're really quite inexpensive for what you get. It's like 145. For 2 APS charges, you got your smoke, you have the ripple firing tow, which is very effective, even more effective on this current patch, where they nerfed APS recharge time, so you can get those double toe hits in on any vehicle at max range. And, you know, it's just the perfect little run for this Bradley. Another AA system! They've brought in a coastal pantsier. I've got to watch out because we need to reload the tow there. But I will be able to get the longbow behind the building. Tow comes in again. Now that we reload on the Bradley. Goodbye, pantsier. This is such a treat for me. It's been like a month and I'd forgotten, like... I'd forgotten why this was one of my favorites, but now I'm remembering that Bradley just ate everything, and it's just so fun to watch. At least for me, again, not for them. Okay, I mean, the Brad is on like 1/3 health. Like, it needs to, like, reverse, get some more smoke, heal up, and get its APS charges back and everything. Especially because it's, like, engaging in the ATGM team again right now, but... Oh, no, there it goes. No, I should have got it out of there. It lived a great life, though. It lived a great life, and there's enemy ballistic missiles coming in at me right now, but apart from that... Yeah, it takes up my M-Shura, which sucks. But apart from that, things are pretty chill. I gotta move up my Patriot because it didn't even fire there, so it's too far back. I typically try to keep my Patriots out of enemy rocket range, rocket artillery range, but in this case I can see it's too far back. It's not doing its job, so gotta bring it up. You can see that I've got 2 with me right now as well, like... My green player isn't really pushing up here on the left of me, I think. You can see that neon green is over on the right, helping with B, which is good. That's what I think they should be doing. They're just leaving some troops here to help me if they're needed. But what it means is that right now I'm kind of 1v2, because you can see that red has shifted over their attention to me. They're bringing tanks down. They tried to bring that Panzer down. Really just underestimating that CFV over and over, bringing in more shit for it to eat. But now they're trying to deal with it, right? Now they've got a red tank there. I saw Maroon had a tank as well, I think. I need to deal with this. I need to get this weapon squad resupplied and get them into position so I can fire javelins on enemy vehicles coming down that road. Because now that I've taken... I've basically, because of that CFV, managed to turn a probing recon into a complete breakthrough of the enemy's rollout line, and as Phase 1 ends, I've taken their side of this flag, which is the ideal position to be in rather than just sitting on my side. Now I can really defend this flag rather than just contest it. So I want to get my weapon squads up here and do what Armored Airborne, and especially Airborne Infantry, do best, which is hold long sightlines. I've got the weapon squad here, which I was trying to move up, but it's a little bit too late. The enemy's already got too close, unfortunately, as you can see. A barb that close is a huge problem, and I'm not going to be able to deal with it, so unfortunately it's going to be tough for me to hold on to my gains here. I'm too slow to start firing on that Armada. I'm going to get hit by the tank cannon for a little gain in return, so I pop smoke and reverse the CFE immediately. Over on the left, whoa, Marine, Vladimir Strelky pushing me there with some Razvedga, I think it was as well. So also going to get that Bradley out of there. This is tough stuff, right? Barb in close. This is the opposite of before. Now they've got really good close range troops. Vladimir Strelky will kill all my vehicles. The Barb is going to just bully these airborne and overrun them. But I've got reinforcements as well. I've got 2 M1A2 Abrams, and I've got my helicopter pair. So that's a longbow from before, I think. It survived. I brought in the new Kiowa to be its new canary in the coal mine. And I'm also bringing in these Abrams, who are perfectly suited to dealing with barbs. Very little deals with barbs as effortlessly as Abrams, at least at this close range. Except you do have to dodge the Cornet spam, their ATGMs, but because we're in such close range here, we're in the minimum range of the Cornets, the Barb can't use them against me. My Kiowa, my Canary, dies again there. To the enemy letting me know the enemy's brought in another piece of AA. But once again, that, 90, 100 point scout helicopter dies, so that my longbow can get away, can live. Gets that early warning. A lot going on here. I took out a scout that was sneaking on my left side there. Nice from them to have it there for so long. But meanwhile, a lot going on here. I take out a Barb there. My weapon squad is engaging. That I brought out of position because it couldn't see them. I've got a tank battle going on here. These Abrams don't have APS or any upgrades. They're just the most basic Abrams you can get in Armored. Oh, and that, ATGM plane comes in, but they're not the scariest ATGMs. Does really blunt my Abrams doing work there, though. I was feeling pretty confident about that fight, but not anymore. I've got an M8 Thunderbolt engaging enemy Armada smokes to get out of line of fire there, because they were scared of losing it, too. As I hadn't smoked my Thunderbolt there, I was like, I'll take it. And I'm getting my weapon squad resupplied now and back into a building to try and fight the enemy. Enemy's doing what you see a lot of, or at least back when this was played, you saw a lot of. I'm sure it's still popular right now, pre-patch, but we'll see after the patch. Which is those Christmas carriers, the Chrysanthemas, whatever they are. Very, very scary ATGM carriers. just put out a huge rate of fire. That's why they're so scary. But that's okay, because we're going to pull back the vehicles now, and now I'm going to get that weapon squad back into position and hopefully take them out with them. Bringing my helicopter pair back in. I love the longbow Kiowa pair. It's made me confident in using helicopters, because before it's like, oh, I'm so scared of using helicopters, because you bring a longbow in and it'll just... The enemy has like one Russian shred, it's just going to die. Like this. Again, there goes the Kiowa again. Oh no. And in this case, I might lose the longbow because I came in too close. Please, please live. No, too close. So I wasn't using the Scout Kiowa well there. You have bad ones sometimes. You can't lose confidence, because helicopters are so powerful. That's the thing. Helicopters are so freaking powerful. And that situation that happened right there is why I just wasn't using them as US for so long. Because I was like, well, yeah, but, you know, the enemy just has to have one shard in the area and your shit's just dead. But the secret there is I made a mistake there. Is I was too eager. I was like, I've killed so much AA. They're not going to have even more right now at this moment. They did. They understand. They need to deal that longbow. And so I didn't let the Kiowa go far enough ahead to properly screen for my longbow. And so they both died together. But in the other cases, as before you were seeing, the key is have that Kiowa like a good bit ahead of the longbow. If nothing shoots the Kiowa, you know it's safe to bring the longbow in and get your work done. But I think I'll bring in another longbow later on in this match, because even with losing the longbow there, it's been doing good work for me. We've wiped out the enemy again, managed to push them back. It's pretty convincing... pretty convincing hold at this point. Even though we've taken some losses, I'd say we're looking pretty happy, pretty good in terms of stabilizing here. Weapon squads in buildings, fully healthed, fully armed, fully healed, fully armed, watching these long sight lines. I've got sniper, recon all over the place, keeping me informed. I've got one of those Abrams that survived. I've healed it up, and it's waiting behind a building, ready to attack. I've got CFVs getting into tree line positions, ready to defend and attack and hold on. I'm feeling so confident I'm sending my Thunderbolt over here to probe and help with the right side here. Piss off Red and engage some targets of opportunity. Unfortunately, that's a Gavati Stroker hitting me. I gotta smoke that Thunderbolt on the right, or it's gonna get RPG'd. Oh, there's no way that lives, right? It literally can't. I smoke, but it's gonna be too late. Whoa, apparently not. Okay, Thunderbolt's reversing out of there. Well, that's not like Gavati Motostrelki, it's just like a Motostrelki. Probably why I lived. It's probably one of those guys who just have the RPG-7, like a single launcher. That must be why it's alive. If those guys had disposables, it would have killed it way too quick for the APS to save it. Oh, the enemy is bringing in a tank, which fucks up its rate of fire. Oh! It looked like the cannon was going to get me first. I don't know what happened there. Maybe it was just a machine gun warming up there of the aim time. But either way, Thunderbolt reverses out of that. With a little help from the Javelin team from the left there. Gets a shot off first and takes that tank out to defend itself. Is somehow still alive now. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm keeping the tempo up here. I see a Barb coming in. Barbs are always good targets for cluster bombers. I'm bringing in my Strike Eagle to take care of business. Trying to perfect the run here. So that it takes out those BMDs and stuff too. Not going to be needed in the end. I don't know if it would have hit them that much, but we take out the Barb, which is the big thing I wanted there. Takes a hit. It does go down. I'm happy with the trade. Generally, I'm always happy to trade a cluster bomber for a super heavy enemy armor like that. Most people are. That's kind of the meta. That's why you don't see as many super heavy tanks. And it's why, for instance, I've gone down to these cheaper Abrams. So that you're not such a cluster target. You can just bring more tanks in. Big push from the enemy, meanwhile, and it's time for our defenses to be tested. Maroon and Red making a combined mechanized and armored assault down the road. But this is the ideal engagement area for an airborne deck. You're happy, you're in your buildings, you've got your ammo. I mean, the Javelin teams have run out of ammo. They've been firing so much, which is always a good day when your weapon squad's exhausted their jabs. Abrams is getting up here and helping to engage as well. Fighting these BTRs. ATGMs, I've got Cav Scouts engaging from the left as well. CFE engaging the Armada on the left side. I'm going to have to smoke that CFE or it's going to die. I think it's going to die. I'm not on it too quick enough. Ooh, just barely smoking that before the Armada finished it off, I think. CFE is engaging those Christmas carriers on the right. Needs to smoke because they're going to take it out, unfortunately. So does that Abrams need to smoke? Yep, we got it. Very brave Moto Strelki or Moto Pakoda, whatever they are there, from Red, pushing down the tree line at my Abrams. Very brave to be pushing into this much stuff, but good for them. They haven't been targeted yet. That Cav Scout is going to want to move because the enemy knows I've been engaging from there and they're out of ammo anyway, so we're going to move them before they get artillery. Ideally, I need to be rearming and doing the same, cycling all of my javelin squads and stuff like that too, you know? But I've got another javelin squad here, dropped off by my truck. Got some airborne in there as well to fight the enemy infantry and provide a bit more health to the weapon squad here, if that place comes under fire. I got another Strike Eagle coming in. I'm trying to snipe this armada. Okay. Yeah, run looks good. Nice, armada's down. Again, even if the Strike Eagle dies here, I'm happy with the trade, which is why I do that run. But, also, you'd be surprised how often F-15s just survive with their speed and just general chadness. That missile did try to curve it and get it at the end there, but we get away. Do a little bit of weaving to try and lose the missile. Missiles can reacquire after they've been flared in this game, which I didn't believe at first, but someone showed it to me. I was like, oh, okay, shit. So, bit of evasive maneuver micro does help with the jets to try not to let the missile easily reacquire you, but in that case, I think I did an S in front of it, and it was able to in the end. But I think it ran out of steam right at the end. You can see the enemy's the enemy's force has been pretty roundly defeated in its goal of crossing the field towards me, but they're not giving up. They're very dogged. They're just bringing in that BTR or BMO, whatever it is, that little shitbox to try and get some more infantry in close. But we're able to reverse the CFE before it gets taken out there, get out of the range of that RPG. And now you can see the enemies decided that, okay, fuck this. They're just bringing like a ton of artillery. You can actually see it there from our snipers. Just sitting on the spawn road, just pounding my positions. You always have to expect this as when you're playing Armored Airborne. It's one of the reasons I don't play Armored Airborne currently in the last couple of weeks when I was playing more, because this is just a taste of what the meta really is like. Really, this match was before I started feeling the cruise missile thing took hold quite as much. I think I played this like August, like maybe 8th, 12th, like quite a while ago, over a month ago in August. And this is when, if you played against a lot of coastal players on the Russian side, you'd be like, okay, they're going to do cruise missile spam. But otherwise, I hadn't been noticing it being too common yet. As time ticked on, and matches ticked on, it seemed like every fucking Russian player just started spamming cruise missiles every match, like they figured out that was the meta. And so that was even more extreme. But either way, whether you're facing that, or whether you're facing a whole bunch of artillery like this, that's more traditional, you just can't sit still. You know, we have a very effective defense there, with all our weapon squads, so of course the enemy's going to go, well, I hate that you did that, so I'm going to try and blow you up with my artillery and fire support. And that's fine, it just means that you have to stay on your feet, you need to move, you need to resupply, get out of there, get back in your buildings later, and be ready for the next assault. If the enemy manages to take out too many units or makes them come out ineffective because you can't resupply them quick enough, then they're going to succeed in getting a good assault in next time because your defenses will have been softened up successfully. But if you're able to resist that barrage, get resupplied, get back into position, and be ready for the next push, then their artillery has accomplished very little, apart from distracting you. And that artillery isn't free. The reason that it's kind of okay here is because I'm not facing cruise missile spam, right? Like in the current meta, as I feel it, where everyone does cruise missiles instead, I lose a lot more here because the enemy just goes, oh, you know, 3 cruise missiles on that building, 3 cruise missiles on that building, and I probably lose like all my infantry here to that before I can react to it in time. The thing about artillery is it's a much fairer way to deal with that because it takes time for the artillery to kill you, whereas the cruise missile volley just kills you instantly. Again, that's why I play Armored SOF these days, because of Armored SOF, you hit and run, you stay mobile, or at least that's how I play that deck. You never sit still, and so you've always repositioned before the enemy can punish you. And that's why, again, as much as I love Armored Airborne, I just don't play it anymore against Russia. Because I just feel like I had to always do all that extra work. Hang on. Get out of there. Sorry, my cats want to do things. Always have to do that extra work. Dodging all the cruise missiles, doing fucking gymnastics, when it's easier just not to sit still against the current cruise missile meta, honestly. But things are looking good in this match right now, where that's not really a thing. I'm just cycling my guys. Gotta have those supplies. Supplies are so important. Cycling my guys, getting them rearmed, getting them repaired and healed, getting them back into good positions, ready to stop the next push. Points look good. We're up in flags, we're up in KD. Quite a lot, we're up in KD quite a bit. And yeah, I'm feeling confident enough here. I'm asking my Neon Green teammate, hey, do you want to take the E-zone? You know, try not to rest on my laurels. But I try not to overpush as well, because that's a real problem. Like, in this case, I'm probing up with the CFE, but I'm probing up only with the CFE, which is important. I don't want to push my whole lineup, because then I'm out of position when the next wave comes, and there's always another wave. That CFE is out of smoke, so it's going to die. I know it's going to die. I don't try to run. I just try to get more toes off before it dies. Just try to make it a useful death. I bring up this Shorad to try and take out the enemy's Mi-28 they got covering the tanks, which is going to get a hit off onto my CFE, unfortunately. But tanks long enough that the Shorad can take out the Mi-28, which is, again, a nice little win for me. And it's fine to take some damage. Health is a resource. We can take some damage and then get back to supplies. The problem is that I need to make sure that Shorad stops pushing. That Shorad was probably on like an attack move to try and kill the helicopter. But at this point, it needs to come back because now it's pushing on its own and it really needs to not be up front like that. I turn off the radar because that's an enemy seed plane coming in, but it's also got ATGMs. Takes out my CFE and my Patriot. Because, lol, the way missile interception prioritization works, probably fucked with something back there. I don't know, I wasn't really watching, but especially with ping as well, it can be really hard to defend against seed missiles, because with desync, like, because it only matters if the seed missile hits on the enemy's screen, you get this really annoying situation where desync makes it near impossible for gun Shorad to intercept missiles, whereas without desync, without internet, it can like always engage them. Again, speaking of the cruise missile meta, it's why the cruise missile meta is such a thing, at least for me, because like a lot of people like hear people complain about the cruise missile meta and like, oh bro, just like put Shorad on like with radar. Like you US players like refuse to use pivads or whatever. It's like, bro, like no, like that doesn't work. Like, but because it's an internet game and because of the way the netcode of this game works, unfortunately, like for me, my Shurads literally cannot intercept seed missiles online, whereas they always intercept them offline because of the ping, unfortunately. So I don't try because I've tried so much to make a seed defense. It doesn't work because of ping. And so I just keep moving. And it's probably part of what got my Patriot killed there as well, unfortunately. That's just ping. I'm hoping, because they said they're going to switch the game's netcode over to be server authoritative rather than client authoritative, that we'll see a change to that, though. So, good things are coming in the future, I think. My CFE's engaging from the trees there onto the enemy tanks. While those enemy tanks are tough and could definitely take the CFE in an open field fight, having the cover of the trees there, plus the stealth of the CFE itself, because it's a recon unit, it's got 1.25 stealth, having that means that it can actually engage the tanks without even being spotted at max range, which is really cool. Because the ATGMs are soft launch, they don't make a lot of noise, so they don't really fuck up your stealth too much. And that means you can just sit in a tree line and actually engage, whereas now that I leave the trees, unfortunately I'm getting engaged by ATGMs, but I do have to leave because... what was that? That was cruise missiles for the Cat Scouts? Well, anyway, because I was expecting that to happen, but to the CFE, I was expecting to get artillery in return. Gotta keep moving. As the enemy has switched to this more fire support style. Coming in to try and get my resupply back for that CFE. Meanwhile, the enemy are still trying to probe in with these tanks. What are they? Are they T-90s, it looks like? I've got my tanks here to contest them. One-on-one, I don't think my tank wins the fight because it's just a basic Abrams. It's only like 215 points, though. It's very cheap, and that's why we get to have two of them. I have the smoke there because I don't want that enemy Mi-28 to take me out. My Shroud isn't quite in place yet, but here it comes now. Getting the radar on. I've got the Hellfire Shorads. I've gone on off them in recent, at the start of the game, but these days I'm all about the Hellfire Shorad Bradley. I think it's the best one. I love it. I got good and I love it. And that missile, almost takes out the Mi-28. If we get one more off, we're going to surely take it out. It's well within range. I'm not even looking at it. Cool guys don't need to look at helicopters get shot down. We know it's dead. I'm going to have to smoke the CFE there to protect it. Smoke, 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 yep. Smoke the CFE before it gets its last hit to take it out. My Abrams comes in, puts some more fire into that enemy tank, and with the Hellfire, speaking of the Hellfire Bradley there, the Shorad, helping out with the ground combat as well, we can take out that one on the right, and then my CFE on the left can also engage the last tank, and we can take it out as well, the ripple-firing toes. Enemies hit me with ballistic missiles. Do I have a Patriot in place to stop this? I hope so. I'm not even paying attention to it, so hopefully. They got cruise missiles coming in as well. They're throwing everything they have at us here. At my airbornes. Luckily, though, ping does make it pretty hard to intercept the faster seed missiles with SHORAD in an online environment for me, at least most of the time. It's okay because cruise missiles are really slow, at least as long as they're not the super fast KH-22s or whatever. So even with ping, the SHORAD can comfortably shoot down that cruise missile that was coming in. And we're probing pretty aggro with the vehicles here. I'm just feeling, you know, that I can get away with it. I'm trying to push that backline, punish their artillery. In the end, though, it will get that Abrams killed as it gets taken out by a Divishanti. Good little ambushes. Great little unit. Very cool. But I think I did just take out an AA piece of the CFV there. Like I was trying to say before, like, I don't want to push my whole lineup, especially my infantry, because Airborne is so positional. I do not want to get caught out of position, and even if I was playing a different deck, I try not to over-push, because it's so easy to get overconfident, go, oh, I've killed everything they have, let's push their backline. And you get there, and of course they brought in reinforcements, or helicopters, or jets, or another teammate of theirs has come over. And you just get, you know, you just get rolled, you lose everything. Now that enemy player is actually leaving for real. Now they've just left. You can hear the dogadong. But yeah, you know, you just get punished. You get wiped out, and then because it takes time for now you to bring in replacements for your own forces that you all wiped out. Uh-oh. Now the enemy's just going to roll onto your flag. Give me 1 second. I can hear something going on in my hallway. What's going on out here? Sorry. Just checking my cats aren't eating some plastic or something that's going to hurt them. And so I think it's good to probe, but I try to do it with a limited force like this. The CFE is perfect for the job. Vehicles are obviously going to be better at it because they've got the speed. But I'm very happy to just probe with the vehicles while leaving my defensive infantry in place, ready for the next attack. And it is good to probe. It is good if you can balance both to not just sit still. I've had to wrangle with the mental of that a lot because, like, obviously, I think another player on the enemy team left while I was up to. Obviously, you don't want to be too static, but I've also had to deal with the mental pressure in this game of going like, oh, I'm a bad player if I just sit still and twiddle my thumbs. It's like, yeah, you should find things to do, like expand your recon net or whatever, or provide air support to whoever lanes for your team. But you gotta be careful not to, like, trick yourself into, like bait yourself into being too aggro, and wasting everything you fought for. And in that case, for instance, you know, the CFE going down, but not really for instance, because that CFE has been quite effective in pushing and being aggressive here, and taking out more assets, throwing the enemy off kilter still, even just giving me recon there of what's coming and what's there. I'm quite happy to, you know, be aggro with one fairly cheap unit like that, and, you know, keep the enemy on their toes. Ideally, you know, we don't lose the unit there, though, but whenever you're pushing a vehicle that doesn't have smoke, that's what's going to happen. Yeah, Rage could have 4v. Is it 4v? Oh, we don't have a teammate either. Oh, when did our... Oh! Oh, I forgot that about this match. Yeah, that's right. The Little Pony or whatever, our teammate leaves. Wasn't that like at the start of the match? Oh, and they never came back. I just assumed they'd come back. Okay, well that makes this match... Now I remember why I wanted to review this one too, yeah. It's a great match, what can I say? I mean, not all my matches are wins, sometimes I do terribly, but sometimes you have great matches like this one, I guess, and hey, if all these videos are going to go the way of the dinosaur, all these matches are going to go the way of the dinosaur when the new patch comes out and obsoletes them, hey, I'm going to get some of these ones I really enjoyed out. I remember why I wanted to show you this one now. This is a, this is a great one for me. It makes me look real good. Yeah, like, it's been a good match. It's a fun match and a favorite match too, because it gets to show off Armored Airborne doing Armored Airborne things in really the ideal situation, I think. The situation that it's all designed for, this open fields, long engagement ranges kind of fight, and more importantly, a defensive fight. Airborne infantry especially are so much about defending. Like, you can push airborne troops into a meat grinder, sure, but they are at their best, they are excelling when they are allowed to be in good, effective positions ahead of time, and can, you know, get their javelins off as the enemy's still closing at max range before autocannons like barbs get within range of them. You know, they can use their 600-meter range rifles to really just absolutely dominate enemy infantry without anything the enemy can do back to you. It's just fantastic for that, and it's so fun to kind of like just get the ideal kind of engagement for that, right? The ideal fight for this deck. So I'm glad, you know, props to my teammate for saying, hey, can I go B? Because they gave me my ideal fight over here on C on the left side. Unfortunately, I do lose a CFE there. Never good to lose a unit, never ever. But again, it's not too expensive, so it's not the end of the world. And, you know, we can easily tell that BMD to F off there with our javelins and stuff. But yeah, we never ended up getting to the E zone. But like I said, you know, experience is the best teacher, and I've learned through a lot of matches that while I could have pushed harder here to take E, what's happened and what tends to happen in my matches in hindsight that I've learned from is you'll often end up winning matches better by taking the area you comfortably can and holding it really dominantly, and then just securing a really high KD advantage off of defending that zone really well and killing all their units, not losing any of yours, just wiping them out, while, you know, not losing too much stuff for yourself, just making the fight really one-sided and look really good for you statistically. Scores you more points, I find, than if you try to get too aggressive and you start losing units when you get aggressive. In the end, you lose your units, so you're not going to get any gains out of it anyway. You're not getting flagged, you're not getting anything big out of it, because, you know, maybe we take E here, but it gets taken back from us, so whatever. And then ultimately, all you've done is waste your KD, you're not holding the flag anyway, and you could have just sat on your flag and done other things that wasn't too reckless. And that's just how I've learned to play, basically. I've gone through being hyper-aggressive with this game, I've gone through being less aggressive in general. And I've come around to this kind of happy medium where, you know, this game isn't just about being a berserker and just always charging the enemy headlong. It's boxing, right? Like, you've got to trade attack and defense. You've got to stay on your toes. You've got to know when to punch, but you've got to know when to dodge as well. You've got to know when to weave. And you gotta know when to just sit back and let your enemy come to you and let your enemy make his mistake. And that's not what this Sep V2 is doing right now. Oh my god, this Sep is in hell. As this match is, there's only 2 enemy players left. I don't think they're gonna win the match. But this Sep V2's crew doesn't care about that. This Sep V2 just wants to live. Popping our first smoke here, takes out a BMD that was flanking us. This thing over-pushed. Oh my goodness, I put them in hell. There's like armadas pushing in on it. You can see me just trying to scramble now to save this crew's life. I've got... Oh, trying to save those snipers too. Get them out of there. Trying to reverse this Sep V2. I'm trying to bring over other vehicles. Racing to support this Sep against the Armada. I lose my snipers in the field, but I take out the Rezvedka. I got a Thunderbolt racing down the road, trying to save this Sep from the Armada. Not in time. So now it goes from being saving the Sep to avenging the Sep. Excuse me. Shorehads come in. I got airborne infantry of javelins running along the road to try and take these guys out. Because this will last 4 minutes, I don't think they're going to make a successful push 2v5. I'm not worried about keeping my guys in place right now. Just trying to get my revenge. Oh, I need to smoke because, unfortunately, it was going to beat me to the punch there on the cannon. And it's going to do it again, I think, because of the autoloader. Maybe we're okay. Taking the shot. Nice. Very nice. Oh, because Thunderbolts have autoloaders too. One of the few American tank cannon armed units to have an autoloader. The M8 Thunderbolt. Actually a large advantage there. Because the Thunderbolt was, like, panicked. If it was just an Abrams, it would have lost that because no autoloader. Because as the autoloader, gets the shot off first there, kills the Armada, saves its own life. Thunderbolts are very good units. I don't use them as much anymore because I was having a lot more trouble with autocannons, like, which it struggles against. But against, like, tank on tank, it can really punch above its weight so well. Here I'm just trying to provide some air support for my teammate on the right, who's got a lot of armor there pinging. It's the end of the match. I'm just bringing in all my air assets. Strike Eagles, A-10. Keep my eye on the ball over here as well. Fighting an Armada with CFE there. I got one Strike Eagle, both Strike Eagles idling. Gonna come back over and save my CFE, which isn't engaging that Armada properly, unfortunately, or isn't able to get the kill, I mean. Strike Eagle's coming in, just doing a run. Get those bombs out, provide some support, take that tank out. The AoE on the Strike Eagle clusters is quite large. They're bigger than other US clusters, so don't get fooled. Don't expect other US cluster bombers to be as good as a Strike Eagle. Strike Eagles have 1,000-pound rock eyes, while others have, like, 500 pounds. It's very different. A10 goes out in a blaze of glory, as all A10s are destined to. Strike Eagles provide a little bit of support, and they're all going home. I'm looking back over to my side now. Advancing across the open fields, because there's 2 minutes left in the stomp of a match we've got going on right now, so fuck it, I'm not afraid of anything. But I'm getting some people resupplied. Poking up my CFEs again, just trying to kill everything I can, just keep the boot on the neck, up right until the buzzer, even if just for practice. Unfortunately, I'm driving straight into that Gavardi Motoshoki again, which has just been sitting there the whole time. Oh, and once again I haven't got smoke, so I think it's like the third... I feel like it's like the third CFE I've lost of that same squad just sitting there. It's terrible. Terrible from me. They've got ATGMs coming in as well. Once again, in ideal situations, you should not play vehicles without smoke. And this is why, because that CFE and the one that died with the Gavardi Motoshoki, they both live if they have their smoke charge still. But because they're being super aggro here, without smoke, it's a great example of how fucked you are without that smoke charge. You gotta have smoke if you're being aggressive. Like you saw at the start of the game when I was playing a bit more properly, a bit less silly. Once I'm out of that smoke charge at the start, I immediately go resupply, even if the vehicle itself is unharmed, because that smoke is life. You'll die about that smoke when you're caught in an open area. Speaking of which, we're going to have to smoke here when the enemy's barbs start hitting us. Those snipers get taken out too, sadly. Thunderbolt engaging from the woods. Shorad smokes to save itself. Thunderbolt's also going to smoke to save itself. Thunderbolt can't take on the autocannon there, like I was saying before. And our only real hope here to save the... save these two is if that Javelin team on the left can kind of take these barbs out. I've got helicopters coming in to save them too, because I think the line of sight's going to be too low there, and there won't be enough time to engage. The Thunderbolt does have 2 smokes though, so we can continue to bait here, keep the barbs at bay. I've got Smoke Mortar coming in too to try and save the day. It's not going to be enough though, that Thunderbolt's going to get obliterated at close range. No! And my Shorad, no! Oh, Shorad's maybe surviving. I gotta be careful, because if the longbow gets too close here, the barbs will kill it with the autocannons. I'm in range, I gotta watch out. Oh no, oh no, oh no. Oh no. Ah! I'm gonna lose it for sure. Me doing my best to destroy my KD at the end of this match. But we get the barb. And that's the match. Yeah, barbs is scary. You gotta watch those autocannons. Get within a kilometer, you're gonna die. But still looking pretty fine at the end of that one. Definitely one of my best matches of Armored Airborne I think I played over the last month. Was very, very fun. Yeah, Lucifer there was only 1100 elo too. Good for Lucifer. Well done. Lucifer seemed to do well on their side. Just a fun match. Just a good, fun match. For me, at least. I think it does show off the strengths of the Airborne Armored deck quite well in its ideal situation. Not to say that the ideal situation happens all the time, because you do want that longer range engagement area, and you want to get into those defensive positions to make the most of yourselves. But when you do, I mean, oh boy, that CFEs, you don't need the Airborne part to play CFEs, and they are such a good unit. Like... That CFE got to go on a little adventure, didn't it? Damn. I love Bradleys. They're so good. I mean, I never played the standard infantry transport Bradleys. I think that's me screenshotting. Look at me. Look at me screenshot like a narcissist. I never played the transport Bradleys, really, but I always play CFEs in an armored deck. I love them. It's one of the main reasons I want to play armored in a combo. They're just so flexible. And they're recon, too, so they're just great. They're just so flexible at everything you need. Pretty reasonable engagements from everyone else. Weapon squad killing some tanks, always good. Another CFE having a very big time. Definitely a match of the CFEs, like, exploiting whatever, like, weakness or off-tempo, you know, back foot stumbling from the enemy we could. Avenger getting some direct combat onto some infantry as well as taking out an MI-28. More Bradleys eating things. Thunderbolt getting an Armada at the end, and now we're getting to the end of the match, I think. Apparently the A-10 got a couple of things before it exploded, so it got points value. Hey, that's all an A-10 needs to do. Pop that and do morale gun runs to make everyone go, yeah, that gun sounds so cool. Yeah, just Oh, apparently I got Iskander and Tochka at the end of a CFE. I didn't even notice that. Did you see that? I didn't even notice that we got into their backline and got their missile units. Cool. And then losses-wise, what did we lose? Well, that one tour ended up getting both my Canary Kiowas and the Longbow eventually, so got 2 successful engagements on me. Only 150 points, too. Pretty cost-effective for what it is. I used to be even more jealous of Russian Shorad because, everybody knows Russian Shorad is better at killing than US Shorad. However, the big thing I learned about Russian Shorad is that most of it doesn't have smoke, and that's super exploitable. Something we'll get into when I start playing Comanches in the Armor SOF combo in later matches that I hope to get out and get reviewed after this one in the next few days before the patch drops, because I don't know, is it going to come like this coming week? Is it going to be next one? I don't know how long I've got, but point being, Russian Shorad does have its weaknesses, and I look forward to the things we do with Comanches later on in some of these matches. But that's it, really. Lost a bunch of stuff at the end there, too. But good match, really. I enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed it, too. I won't sit here waffling for too much at the end, because 1, I think it's annoying when I do that, and I always do it. And 2, I want to record more of these because I want to get as many of these reviews out as I can before that patch drops. So, my problem is always I'll say I'm going and I talk for another 5 minutes. So this time I'm going to be good about it. I'm going to say, hey, GG, hope you enjoyed that match. I'm going to try to get more out for you. Leave your comments. I haven't replied to them lately, I'm sorry, but I'll try to reply to them whenever I get the time. And yeah, I'll be catching you all with something other than BA soon, which I think you BA fans may find enough in common with to quite enjoy, and I'm very excited to release it soon in a few days. And then other than that, yeah, I look forward to playing the new patch on the stream again when it drops, and more videos soon. So GG everyone, have a good one, good luck in your own matches, and catch you in the next review. Bye everyone, have a good one, see ya!